The drink that is Florida State is this, 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 this. For those listening to the podcast, I'm just pulling out liquor.
Yeah.
They're eating the dogs, Kieran, in Tuscaloosa.
They're eating the
dogs. You know
dog.
that?
They were
They're
eating
the dogs.
Oh, a meth raccoon.
Yeah.
Just awful. There is nothing good about this. It's the worst possible scenario for the CFP, for the national championship.
Notre Dame is a mid-program with really good marketing.
And the Michigan players are going to look at that, and anybody who's committing to Michigan in the next years will just go, I want to beat them even more. Like, I wanted to beat them when I first came to this school. Recruits are going to see this.
And we're also sorry that you have to watch a Brian Kelly coach football team. We can only imagine how difficult that must be for you, knowing that you're not going to win a big game ever with him as your coach, and that you're rooting for a child murderer.
This podcast has gone off to a really weird start, but I like it.
I love it, though. I'm a big fan. Welcome back to Tailgate on the Quad, the premier college football only podcast on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. Unless you count all the other random crap we bring up, only college football all the time, except for all that other stuff. As always, I am joined by Kieran. Kieran, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
You had a rough, after last week's episode, you had a rough time with rugby, it seems.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a rough time, but it was mitigated by the fact that the Free Jacks did end up securing double home field advantage for the playoffs with a win in New Orleans. So I'm okay. Just a momentary lapse.
That's fine. Rebound. Like I said, college football only.
Yes.
I watching the intro every week, I realize something new every time.
Oh yeah.
Like, your look is pretty consistent. Your beard will be a little fuller sometimes, but your hair is always the same general length. Yeah. You always have the beard. And then looking back at that, sometimes I'm never clean shaven, but sometimes I have a nice trim beard. Sometimes I look like I'm homeless. Sometimes the hair is relatively short, well brushed. Sometimes it's a mess. Sometimes I wear a hat.
Yeah.
It's just interesting kind of who we are as people.
It's all over the place.
It is very much all over the place.
Here's the thing, that because that's the beauty of podcasts. We have the consistency and the creativity and recklessness at the same. We weigh each other's weaknesses and strengths. It's perfect.
That's true. Also, sorry, I have something in my throat. I don't know why. Speaking of recklessness,
yes,
I have not posted the Old Bay clip on social media yet.
Oh my.
I just haven't gotten around to it. So we're going to change the parameters, Kieran.
Okay.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch the Big Tennis Drinks, which I believe is on the Tailgate on the Quad YouTube. We're now uploading to the Belly of Sports YouTube. We got promoted. Go watch that. The Big Tennis Drinks on Tailgate on the Quad on YouTube. We're talking about what Maryland is. Kieran brought up Old Bay Vodka. And I said, if we get 200 views on that, or I forget if I said I think I said 5,000 views on the clip on shorts, on TikTok shorts and reels, I would drink an entire bottle of that during week 0 and record content during it. We're going to change that because I just have posted a video. That's an unfair assumption to make that people will still watch it. So if we get 500 views on every episode between now and week 0 total, like combined.
Yeah. Okay.
500 feels low.
You're making the metric, man.
I know. I want it to be something kind of similar, but I don't want it to be not similar, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want it to be close, but not too easy to get.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
so
you.
16 weeks. until week 0, according to Google AI. So there's probably really like 14. I don't trust AI, but I use it a lot. So we'll just go quick maths here. Because again, like we said it, I don't want it to be too easy because that's 31 views per episode.
Mm-hmm.
You think we'd hit 62 views per episode, Kieran?
I think that might be stretching it.
All right, so that's just a great. Hey, nobody watches this. 46 is the number we're gonna go with.
Okay,
A little bit over 46. If we get 750 views on every episode from this one forward,
okay,
then I will drink an entire bottle of Old Bay vodka during week 0. And
all right, all right. And remember, I'm in this with you, so you can set the bar wherever you feel is appropriate.
If we get 4 views,
if we get 4 views, Kieran blacks out on a Saturday.
You were doing that with 0 views anyway.
I certainly was.
But now that we have that squared away, so 750.
Okay.
2 bottles of Old Bay vodka coming right up.
Yeah.
Our wives are not going to be happy.
Nope.
But yeah, she's very supportive of this. I think on August 23rd,
she's going to be regretting.
She's going to be a lot less supportive of what this show has done. But I'll still be hungover when we record on Wednesday if we do this.
You got it, champ. Hang in there.
Okay. Old Bay, you want to get in on this? You want to sponsor us? I mean, it'll literally just take 2 free bottles of vodka.
We don't ask for much.
And then it'll be Old Bay, the official seasoning of Tailgate on the Quad. Because Old Bay, it's good on everything.
It is. It is very good. I didn't want to admit that starting out, but it actually low-key is phenomenal.
Chicken, steak, I mean, crab, obviously. Any seafood, popcorn. Have you ever had Old Bay on popcorn?
I haven't. I'll need to try that
It's good. It hits.
All right. Got to look into that.
I was also thinking of other sponsors we should go for, Kieran.
Yeah.
Tums. From this, but also
from
the last 2 years.
Vodka. You know what? We need Tums.
We will. But no, so we didn't do video, so nobody really saw this. But the last 2-ish years, they've been better lately. I had really messed up stomach issues. So I was just popping Tums like Tic Tacs while we were recording some nights.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Oh, I pointed it out a bunch and then edited it.
Well,
I'd be like, my stomach's killing me. I need Tums. And then I just take a whole bottle of Tums while recording. And so Tums, the official antacid of Tailgate on the Quad, whether they sponsor us or not. Really.
You're getting free advertising here.
Free advertising, but the gravy train stops if you don't officially sponsor us. I'm sure Old Bay especially would love binge drinking. Proudly sponsored by Old Bay Seasoning. Moving on to some actual college football. Like I said, only college football all the time on this podcast. And we've said it once, we've said it a million times. We're not lawyers. The closest thing we've ever done to working government office or working in a government setting was that year where I hated my life and was a legislative aide. But we're going to talk some laws, Kieran. House versus NCAA has reached a settlement, a 10-year agreement. Some highlights of it: back paying athletes who played from 2016 to 2024 for $2.8 billion. Deloitte will be handling NIL compliance with their platform, NIL Go. Schools can share $20.5 million in revenue, which will increase 4% every year in this 10-year agreement. Kieran, and also there were the roster limits added. Some female athletes are suing or planning to sue for Title IX violations in this. Kieran, what are your thoughts on the House settlement?
I think we're both in agreement that the House settlement is a pretty good idea. whether this whole Title IX thing kicks off or whether it's going to be distributed fairly remains to be seen. Overall, this is a good thing. The one bad thing about this is the fact that Deloitte will be handling NIL compliance. They have a reputation of going in there, guns blazing and making an absolute hash of things. And I feel like this is going to be the exact same thing. They're going to be skimming off the top, allegedly, maybe. And these athletes are not going to get nearly as much as they deserve.
I think, though, with $20.5 million in revenue sharing, that will mitigate that a little bit. And I'm very curious how they're going to decide, because part of what NIL Go is going to be, they're going to figure out the fair value for a sponsorship and then say if the deal falls within that. Which I think the big issue is the NCAA dragged its feet on paying its athletes for about 100 years.
Yeah.
Because of amateurism. Whatever that means. Student athlete, a term the NCAA has literally said they made up to not pay players. I'm very curious how this is going to go, how this is going to progress. I feel like it's going to end up being like the college football playoffs, where we have this 10-year agreement in place, and then in 3 or 4 years, they're going to throw it out and do something else.
Yeah, it's going to get rehashed in that 4-year time span, and then whatever comes next will be equally as bad, if not worse. I can already hear the scandals coming from this, the headlines like in the New York Times or something, breaking X executive was skimming millions of dollars from athletes and all this jazz. It's just going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a disaster, and I can't wait, and the NCAA deserves it. But we're talking about all this money coming into the sport. Allegedly, Kieran, and teams now are looking at partnering with private equity firms to bolster their NIL funds. Reports are Boise State already has or is reaching an agreement soon. It was reported Penn State and UCLA were doing the same, but those schools have since come out and denied it. And this is the end of college football.
Yeah, 100%.
It's rip. It was a good run, a good 130-year run, but all good things must come to an end. Mm-hmm. And as with most things, private equity ruined everyone else's fun.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing that that athletic directors, schools, whomever agree with this in any principle, knowing what they've done to, our homegrown franchises such as TGI Fridays, Red Lobster, Subway, and Jersey Mike's that they're ripping to shreds. And they'll do it to the NCAA as well. They'll do it to all of the sporting world. Private equity in its idea is probably great. Let's pool our money, let's buy a thing, let's however they manipulate the rental agreements or sharing or whatever profit margins, and then they just rip it all away. They absolutely leave desolation in their path, and it's just so aggravating to see. So goodbye college sports, goodbye college football, goodbye colleges, frankly, because that's the next best thing. You're going to see Michigan State being sponsored by, I don't know, Chick-fil-A next, with partners in equity capital something.
I don't disagree with you. I think Chick-fil-A would 100% just do Georgia or something.
Yeah, that's so much better. Yes.
I feel like Michigan, maybe a Culver's.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good
like that. But I think with NIL, it started off as a good idea, and sort of like a national championship in football. It started off a good idea. You start off with NIL deals. Players are going to be able to do advertisements and make money. You're going to start off with a BCS, which is a championship game. And then it's going to get a little weird for teams like, okay, I can sort of be on board with that. teams kind of getting NIL funds together and announcing like, hey, we're going to try to help these kids get NIL deals. And then it just goes to complete shit where you're going to have schools directly paying players and private equity involved. College football meant something, Kieran, when the money was coming from boosters in McDonald's bags under the table, and they didn't care if they went bankrupt as long as their school beat their rival. That's all that mattered. Now we're going to have to be worried about bottom lines and all that. Oh, sorry. I know he's in the NFL now, but oh, sorry, Caleb Williams. You're too expensive now. We need to worry about the shareholders.
Oh, there's nothing I hate more than that term. It's ridiculous.
My body is simply a vessel for generating shareholder value, Kieran.
Yeah. That's your biggest regret in life. Not generating enough value for the shareholders.
And that's what college football is becoming. It's disgusting, and I hate it. But as with all things, money, they get the Mr. Krabs eyes where he's got the dollar signs in there.
Yeah,
that's what college football is becoming. I'm not pointing out anything about the players. They were not paid for 100 years. They deserve to get some. They generated this billion-dollar industry. But now that this billion-dollar industry is maybe only going to be a $999 million industry, they need more money. Private equity is coming in. And it's not just the individual teams. The Big Ten is considering selling their naming rights, opening the door for a corporate sponsor rebrand. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If we get the Uber Eats Big 12, like the Uber Eats League One, I'm going to lose my mind, Kieran.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like I don't understand it, right? Because I'm at the point, and I don't know how other people are on this, but let us know. I am at the point where the more corporate logos I see sponsoring things that I have loved and held dear and whatever, the less I'm going to get that product, right? Unless it's like an exceptional product, there is no reason for me to go out and get something that this X company is sponsoring. Like, I don't care. I don't want it. I want no part of it. I don't want to be involved. Just leave me alone. You've taken something that I've hold dear and you have ruined it. And I think I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say a lot of people would feel the same way. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it really would have to be a good sponsor. And I don't mean the highest paying sponsor. I mean someone with an identity tied within the Big 12 region.
I see.
And that wouldn't make it good. That would just make it okay.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
It was a bad idea, but you picked a good sponsor.
So what would be the one for the Big 12 then?
I don't know. I mean, I keep going to 54 best Southwest American restaurants. These are all random. Also, these are all in Rhode Island. Best Southwest American restaurants in Rhode Island. Thanks, Open Table. I don't know. Can you think of any brand? I mean, guns.
A gun brand?
Colt presents the Big 12.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson presents UMass Hammers as the Independents.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be so funny.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, they're
Texas
sponsored
Roadhouse.
the Minutemen, literally.
Exactly. Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse presents the Big 12.
Except the fact that Texas, the main school from that state, is no longer in the Big 12.
But they still have schools.
Oh, sorry. I have one. Waffle House sponsors the SEC.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, objectively funny, not the best sponsor.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I think you could also do Walmart for the SEC.
Yeah, that's the other one I was gonna go with.
But Waffle House would be funnier. But no,
Yeah.
I think they could pick a brand that does well with Texas. The Dallas Cowboys present the Big 12. There we go.
Perpetual losers present the Big 12.
It fits.
There you go.
It fits. But yeah, so I hate it. I hate all of that. Some of the good things that have come out of the NIL era, Kieran. College football is back in video game form. Obviously, it came out last year. CFB 26 is coming out soon. EA is implementing a system where they will pay schools based on how much people play as them.
Yep. Love it.
And I think it's great. I think, and we tweeted this from the Tailgate on the Quad account. Go follow at Quad Tailgate. I think we need to all collectively agree to pick the funniest school to just grind.
Yep, absolutely.
And I replied to it. I said Kent State. Just because that'd be funny.
Yeah.
But would it be the funniest?
It would arguably be one of the funniest, but I think this actually introduces a really awesome opportunity for people to do what we did kind of last year is, randomize your selection, for a school, and then make that mid school your team that you root for. Unashamed. This is the school you're going to root for. I'm going all in on them, and let's make sure that these little guys can get ridiculous sums of money, because with college football coming up, everybody's going to be wanting, I want to replay that game because we lost to our rivals, so I'm going to blow off some steam. Don't take a mid team like Akron or something, actually garbage team. They're not even mid, some garbage team like Akron, and just set the difficulty on uber easy and just blow out Ohio State. That will be the funniest thing.
It's true. Also, your mascot's a kangaroo, so that's a bonus for Akron. But I think actually, Kieran, we need to pick one of the newcomers.
We
have two of them this year. We had Kennesaw last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we're going to have Delaware and Missouri State. I think we should all play as Delaware because it's hilarious that they're the Blue Hens, and see how quickly we could get them bowl eligible with our NIL contributions.
Yo, that's actually such a good challenge. Yeah.
Not in the game, by the way. Like in real life, we're going to play
real life,
as many hours as we can as Delaware and get them bowl eligible. And while our parents or our roommates or our wives, our fiancés or girlfriends, or your boyfriend, husband, whatever, comes out at 3 a.m. and you're grinding as Delaware, and like, what the hell are you doing? Relax, babe. I'm trying to get Delaware to the Pinstripe Bowl. You're playing in the game for the national championship. No, in real life, if I play, and then you have to explain to them how if you play as that team enough, that they get more money to then make bowl games.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This should be a nationwide effort that we totally put all our support behind Delaware. And that would be great for them. 6 years from now, they're fighting for a semifinal or something. Just make it absolutely absurd. Go Blue Hens.
Need to do it. But Kieran, you want to talk about something Ryan Day said in relation to this?
Well, yeah, kind of. We're going back to the situation with automatic bids for the Big Ten and the 8 and the SEC. And I would just like to say this to all of the coaches. All of you coordinate a weekend, whatever. Make it like a pro day sort of thing where you're all there in one conference room and just each of you say what you think about automatic bids, because I am sick and tired of every week the next coach in the lineup says, oh yeah, I think we should get automatic bids, or no, I don't think we should get automatic bids. All of you just sit in a room and let's get all of your opinions all at once, because I don't want to keep having to bring up this topic on our podcast, and we seem like we are going insane, because I know I sure as hell am.
I wouldn't say it a long time ago. Also, I think Ryan Day, though, in his defense, he might be the first coach to come out and publicly endorse his conference getting the saying 4 automatic bids, not, well, we do play a tough schedule in conference. No, he's like, no, give us the automatic bids.
No, I'll tell you why, because he can't fucking beat Michigan. He can't beat Michigan. He knows he can't beat Michigan.
It didn't hurt him this year.
No, it didn't. It didn't. I grant you that. But we both agree that this is okay. First of all, he shouldn't have made it as far as he did. So that's BS in and of itself. But like, I think everybody hates Ryan Day as the coach of Ohio State. Even the Ohio State fans do. So we're doing them a service, frankly.
That's true. I'm very confused by what Ryan Day said. Allegedly, he said, more automatic spots will benefit the sport because it'll incentivize stronger non-conference scheduling. No, it won't, Ryan. It 100% will not, because the teams will just go, well, we play a cupcake out of conference, then in conference. If we lose 4 games, we're still the 4th best team in conference, so we get to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It will not incentivize a stronger non-conference schedule. That is, at best, delusional, at worst, willfully ignorant to a detrimental level to the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said something nice about him, so I had to then point out that he's also an idiot.
It's the duality of man, Kev.
That's true. I get why he's arguing it, though, because there was a point last season where it did seem like Ohio State's playoff hopes might have been dead after losing to Michigan, and it seemingly resurrected. Also coming back from the dead, Pac-12. Pac-12 is officially back. All members have or will soon be signing their grant of rights, creating a conference again, or filling out the conference again. Thank God Pac-12 After Dark is back. I don't care how bad the teams are.
No, I don't either.
I just need it.
I'm watching for the love of the game.
Exactly. Their media deal is also being rumored, and let's see if we can find out what it is. No, they don't know what it is. It's just they're getting one. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
College football or an athletic conference is getting a media deal.
I had no idea.
They also allegedly could include as many as 4 different partners. And they're looking like, ESPN, CBS, the CW, Fox, and Turner Sports are all mentioned, but they're just basically listing TV channels on that point. I'm very curious, though, to see how football is going to look in this conference, because one of the members, Gonzaga, does not have a football program. So it'll be curious to see how this goes. Are they eventually going to get one? Is it going to be Oregon State, Washington State, Utah State, Boise State, San Diego, Fresno, and Colorado State? And then Gonzaga's just like basketball, and that's it.
Yeah, they'll just be the Vanderbilt of the Pac-12, except instead of baseball, they play basketball. They have a football team, but it's not really a football team.
That's true. I was gonna say Vandy technically does have a team.
No, I know that's a bit of a slap on Vandy's part, in fairness.
That's true. Yeah, although they beat Alabama this year, and I still hate it. Oh, they don't have the FBS minimum though for football.
Oh.
They need one full-time football playing member to reach FBS minimum. Just make Gonzaga put a football team out there this year.
No training, no pads. Just
you can give them pads.
No, don't even give them pads. Just play two-hand touch.
If anyone tries to walk onto another sport and they're going to get cut, just have them play football.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, this is probably more important, Kieran, to me at least, than the Pac-12. Why did I not realize that you can pay for mascot appearances? And why did I not have Big Red at my wedding?
That's a great question. I am going to call Penn State right now and ask if I can get the Nittany Lion at mine.
That's true. I mean, I think I sent it to you. A Big Red, though, Kieran. That might be pretty good. I don't have it. Why do I not have it? All right, I think Big Red was only like $120, maybe.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. In terms of wedding expenses, that's just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, just don't invite two people who you don't really care if they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Mom, I can't invite the aunt and uncle I haven't spoken to since I was 12. I have to have Big Red at my wedding. Here it is. A private event, birthday party, wedding, etc. $150 per hour.
Yeah. No brainer.
Have them show up for cocktail hour.
Yeah.
$150. Perfect. I did see some others in the replies, I think. Oh, the Oregon Duck is $1,500.
Oh, God.
I think that was what you would be paying for Penn State.
Damn. It's expensive.
Or you could just lie and say it's a standard appearance and you only have to pay $500.
Yeah, that's still... I'd rather at that point just have Big Red.
That's true. Oh, but Mr. Cyber, who that's a lot of numbers, not real, replied, you actually can't get Big Red. I've tried. They don't respond to emails, sent double digit, offered a lot of money for him to just come over and watch a Saturday's worth of college football when they have a Tuesday game. Okay, but I'm assuming that in season it's tough to get Big Red, or anyone for that matter.
That's a good point, yeah.
Also, I don't think they're going to be okay with you just inviting him to your house. But
yeah, you want to come over? I've got snacks.
That just sounds terrifying. But Kieran,
it does.
Your wedding is coming up, and so you're not getting an actual present from me. You're just getting Big Red.
Honestly, fine. That'd be great. I'd 100% support. I'm just not going to tell Sam, and I hope she doesn't listen to this one particular episode and just be like, by the way,
hey, I know you only invited me and my wife, but I did bring a +1, and it's Big Red.
Yeah.
And I feel like she'd be like, who the fuck is Big Red? And you'd just be losing your mind.
Yeah.
You'd be so excited.
And it's great because like only a select, I feel like a very select few people will understand that is a college football mascot. Like my whole Irish side of my family will just be like, what is this red gumdrop doing here?
They'd be like, why is Grimace red? Also, apparently, Jesus. Apparently, it's canon that Grimace and Big Red are friends. By the way,
oh, that's cool.
Like, apparently, they posted Big Red's official Twitter account posted a couple years ago on Grimace's birthday, saying "Happy Birthday, Grimace." Their header on Twitter is a picture of Big Red and Grimace on Western Kentucky's campus. And I think they posted other pictures of them together recently.
That's funny.
So, I mean, maybe they're related. Maybe it's, you got Grimace, you got Big Red, you got Uncle O'Grimacy.
Yep, there you go.
So yeah, it's great. I'm 100% getting Big Red for your wedding.
That's fine. Love it.
All right, cool. You know who's not having a good time, Kieran?
Who?
BYU football.
No, they're not.
Because based on what you sent me, they're blacklisted by Russia and labeled a threat to the country's safety and operations. Kieran, you have the article in front of you. What is the reasoning behind this?
So this was, frankly, a fantastic reason for banning anybody associated with the University of BYU. So on February 6th of this year, so 2025, BYU, I guess student body, something along those lines, hosted the U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, Sonata Coulter, who oversees policy towards Russia and Central Europe. The name of the event was Russia as a Global Threat. And Russia has taken that and said, all right, anybody associated with the university is now banned. Point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you even step foot on Russian soil, you'll be detained. I mean, you do anything in Russia wrong, they'll detain you. So, there's that.
And if you breathe in Russia, they'll detain you.
Yeah, seriously. But it is a little bit interesting because they were asking one of the Russian history professors, a guy by the name of, excuse me here, I'll tell you now, Jeffrey Hardy. Like, what does that mean for foreign exchange programs? He's like, we haven't done that since COVID, so not really an issue. But there is one guy, I hope I pronounced his name right, Igor Demin. I don't know. Anyway, he's a basketball player from Russia, and he hopes the situation won't mean much for him, given his recent decision to leave for the Cougars and enter the NBA draft. So good on him. But for any other Russian athlete that is at BYU, good luck.
Yeah, that's certainly something.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked either, but like, it's one of those things, like, I feel like there are other things that are more important to, the Russian oligarchy than a couple of kids from BYU.
Yeah, probably like the war they are actively fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Take more of a priority than what a bunch of Mormons in Utah are doing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
But no,
it's so weird. I saw it and I just had to talk about it.
No, that's hilarious. We didn't talk about this. We talked about NIL, but that is also a concern. How any foreign students who are playing basketball, how that will impact their visa status.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of Russian hockey players as well throughout the NCAA system. So.
Yeah, but not even that. Like basketball, you got a lot of those guys from Eastern Russia and Africa. Football, not as much. You have some Aussies and Canadians, but most of that's going to be American. I'm sure soccer has some. Baseball is going to have a lot. So, yeah, it's something to watch. But, no, that's hilarious that Utah banned an entire school. Or Russia banned an entire school.
Yeah.
BYU should turn around and ban anyone associated with the Russian government.
Yeah.
Or once that kid leaves, go to the draft, anyone associated with Russia.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, it ultimately actually has almost zero effect on either groups, but just put them on your banned list. Just for shits and giggles. Yeah, no, that'd be hilarious. But anything else with that story, Kieran? You want to move on to our bigger topic? Yeah, we'll move on. All right, Kieran, we're nearing the end of our teams as drinks, which means I actually have to start thinking of content ideas again, which it's been a nice about 2.5 months just turning my brain off to do this. But all good things must come to an end. So we are moving on to the ACC as drinks. Then
we'll get into the housekeeping after this. I was gonna discuss future plans, but for now, we're just gonna do this. SMU, Kiernan. What do we got?
SMU is just straight vodka. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It will get you absolutely floored. It's fun, but you will suffer some consequences.
That's fair. I was gonna go with cocaine.
Yep. Yeah.
Or
why not mix the two?
Or the blood of the mascot that your horse Peruna just killed. I think it's the two. Those are two things I think of when I think of SMU. I think of the 80s and Peruna. And Tanner Mordecai.
Legendary.
I wonder what he's up to. We have not talked about him in a while. What's old Tanner? Well, he got waived by the 49ers a year ago. I think that might be it.
Brutal.
Also, he played at I forgot he played at Wisconsin. He played at Oklahoma for 3 years, or rode the bench for 3 years, then went to SMU for 2, and then he went to Wisconsin. Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, seriously.
He's on the 49ers practice squad.
Not the worst place to be.
Yeah, he's better at football
Getting
than
paid
I'll
to
ever
do
be.
nothing.
That's true. Next up, Clemson.
Yeah. They're
Does
a little
Clemson
difficult.
drink?
I'm sure they do.
I'm just going to go with Kool-Aid again because I feel like Clemson's also very culty.
Yeah, definitely Kool-Aid. But when you say Kool-Aid, are you implying alcoholic beverages, or are you just saying blindly followers or whatever?
I mean, look, if your cult leader, Dabo, puts something in the Kool-Aid, who's to say?
Gotcha.
Who's to say? If he tries to give you Nikes before giving you the Kool-Aid, just say no.
Gotcha. All right.
You got anything for Clemson?
No, I think it pretty much hits the nail on the head. I was just gonna say, like, any mixed drink that you get at a bar, just because it's fine. You know, people love it, but it's not great.
That's fair. Next up, Miami. Something overpriced, not a lot of alcohol, and way too much sugar in it.
Yeah.
And cocaine.
And cocaine. Yeah, that is kind of like any mixed drink at a bar for Clemson, but yours makes a lot more sense given that it's Miami. And the overpriced thing is funny because that's very on brand. Jeez, it's so expensive.
In Miami, you're going to pay like $30 for a drink, probably.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anything else you got for the U?
I would just say like a tequila soda. Just, you know, again, you're going to be paying $30 for it. So.
True. I feel like Miami
influence. Yeah,
that's true. You could also say a drink that's not theirs because they don't have their own stadium.
There you go.
Next up, Syracuse. Kieran, what drink is Syracuse?
Syracuse is a really strong lager or IPA. It's one of those things that's I'm going to say cult classic, but not in the way that we've been talking about it on this podcast recently. It's something that everybody really, really enjoys, but purely for the sake of enjoying it. No other reason.
That's fair. I'm just going to go orange juice.
Yeah, that's very fair.
If you want to make it alcoholic, a screwdriver, you do a mimosa, but just a tall glass of some OJ.
Yeah.
And not the kind of USC OJ that kills people. Next up, Louisville. That means bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon.
Okay. I just want to make sure we don't
move on.
Page. Georgia Tech.
Right. I'll give you one. Those peach mango Minute Maid things that you find in the grocery store, like the liter or gallon jugs or whatever. It's good, and certain people will get it, but it's not for everyone, and not many people would necessarily go for it. Wouldn't be their first choice, I should say.
That's true. I'm going to go with a nice mead.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Very popular, very good a long time ago. Now nobody cares about it.
That is a good one.
Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Duke. I almost said Duke basketball. Kieran, what is Duke? I almost said basketball again. What drink is Duke?
Duke is, what's that called? Mad Dog 2020 Blue Raspberry. That's what that is. It's absolute chaos. Nothing makes sense, and the fans are just insane. Not in a good way. They're just insane. And they think it's better than they think their product is better than something equal value or any,
That's true. I'm gonna go with a nice Hogarden. I just looked up difficult to pronounce names for beer, and it's apparently Hogarden. But yeah, just because nobody can pronounce all of Coach K's name, and that's why we call him Coach K.
That's a good one.
Virginia Tech.
So I kind of have one for this.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how big the drinking culture is in Virginia Tech, but I will say this. What's that stuff called? Death Wish? The water brand.
Oh, Liquid Death.
Liquid Death. That's what they are. They look like they're an intimidating football team, but they're probably not. But they're at least healthy.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Virginia Tech, so I think I'll just go with that.
Yeah. Liquid Death.
I'll just agree with you.
Perfect.
Boston College, communion wine.
Yeah.
Or just a good old-fashioned beer.
Yeah, simple. Not much flair to it, but it's simple.
Perfect. Pitt Panthers. Whatever is theirs, because they also don't have their own stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say Pittsburgh, 6 30 racks of Rolling Rock beer, split between 2 people. Pitt can drink like there's no tomorrow, and I get it. I get why they're like that, because the steel industry is gone, so all they have is football.
Yeah, and not even good football half the time.
8-8, Mr. Consistency.
That's true. Pitt, I feel like, would kill for 8 wins most of the time. I know you're talking about the Steelers. NC State.
That is a little bit difficult. I don't know how far down this stretches, but Cheerwine, like cherry wine, that soda.
Cheerwine is so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that soda. I feel like it fits them the best out of the ACC group, purely because, the red coloring and whatnot. But like, that seems like something they would have in mass quantities.
That's true. I'm going to go with Bud Light for NC State. Bud Light is the 3rd best selling beer in America, and NC State is probably the 3rd most popular team in the state of North Carolina.
Fair enough.
Next up, UNC.
Right. So I'm a little bit torn between UNC and Wake Forest coming up. I think I'm going to give this one to UNC, but like Champaign, just because they think they're rich upper class pricks, but it's actually like Brute or something like that.
It's a state school.
Yeah.
Not knocking state schools. Kieran and I
No,
both
no.
went to one, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't be acting like you're going to Harvard when.
Yeah.
And UNC is a good school. Don't get me wrong. I know we've been very generic for some of these and hyper specific for others. We did not mention this for Duke, but I feel like it's kind of like Jack Daniels and Jim Beam. I know they're different kinds of whiskey, but they're both probably the two most sold American whiskeys that you'll find. And if someone likes Jack Daniels, really, they like Jack Daniels. If someone likes Jim Beam, they like Jim Beam. They don't really drink the other. They think they have the right opinion.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
So, all right. Moving on to the last couple. We only have 5 left. Virginia. This is another tough one. I'm going to go Champagne, but like a good version of Champagne. I don't know good Champagne. But it is a state school, but it's a very well-regarded state school, and it has the history that a lot of those private institutions in the Northeast have. So Champagne, but they're actually drinking the good stuff.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with bootleg moonshine, and what I mean by that is this...
Complete opposite of what I said.
No. Hold on. I have a good reason for it. It's not a West Virginia or a Tennessee, right? It's one of those things that's like, yeah, it was brewed up in the mountains or distilled up in the mountains, but it's been watered down as it drops in elevation, so it's not nearly as strong. It's like the moonshine, whatever you get in the liquor store. That's what it is. It's not real moonshine, but it's moonshine.
That's fair. I agree now, but I was a little confused.
Yeah, exactly. Because bootleg moonshine kind of is a double negative. You know, it's one of those, it's like, yeah, all moonshine is bootlegged. So like, what does it matter? But then I'm actually taking it from the illegal, actually physically illegal stuff to some watered down nonsense that you distribute out.
Yeah, like the apple pie moonshine you get.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Which is good, by the way, but yeah.
I've not had any of them, in fairness. I just know that people get them.
Did I not have any during my bachelor party?
I didn't have any.
On my end.
Damn, I should have got some.
I don't know if I did. I'll get some next time I see you. I'll bring some.
All right, fantastic.
Next up, Cal. Your state allocated potato vodka.
Yes. Yeah.
The algorithm's gonna get you.
Yeah. I was gonna say turnip juice, but yeah, that works.
Also fitting.
Yes. Oh God.
Wake Forest.
Right. So this is where I was kind of confused with where should I give the champagne to them. But given that they were Baptist founded, I'm just going to say water because it's,
That's fair. I'm going to go with J&B Scotch.
Oh, okay.
It is the single most disgusting drink I've ever had in my mouth. But I feel like Wake Forest fans after every football season needs to drink an entire bottle of that to wipe the hard drive and forget that season.
All right. Fair enough. Very, very true. All right.
But you're a Wake Forest fan, so you obviously like punishment. So that's why you're going to go with the disgusting stuff.
Okay. I got you. That's a good one.
J&B Scotch. Absolutely terrible. Do not sponsor us. I will say no.
We're not that desperate yet.
Yeah, I might say yes. If it honestly, depending on how much money it was, if they told me you have to drink this during every show, I would consider it. And I'm a good friend, so I would even share the money with you, Karen, even if you didn't have to drink it.
I'm always one for throwing down.
Yeah, not this stuff, buddy.
All right. I've not had it, so I don't.
You can drink something more appetizing, like bleach or Drano. Stuff tastes way better.
That's awful. Jeez.
It's bad. Next up, Stanford.
I'm gonna go with very simple, a Napa Valley red wine. I think it's sophisticated enough that, you know, it's respectable. It's not necessarily the best all the time. You know, there are some times where it's really, really good. There's some years where it's really, really bad. But overall, consistency is king. Got nice colors. Red wine.
I was actually going to say a nice red.
Yeah, there you go. Same idea.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a red wine.
No, I couldn't either.
I don't know. Finally, Florida State. After last season, I'm sure most of them wanted to drink bleach.
Yep.
But Kieran, what drink is Florida State?
I'm gonna piggyback off your last one. I'm gonna say it's actually Drano, because they need to drain the swamp, my friends. Just get it all out of your system. You need Pepto-Bismol. You need stool softener. You need everything. And frankly, it would be great for the guy who still needs to eat poop, because he has yet to do it. And all of his teams are showing signs of going downhill, baseball included. They just lost, I think, a big game just recently. But yeah, seriously, they need anything to just get rid of whomever they currently have. It doesn't matter what sport.
That's true. The drink that is Florida State is this, 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 this. For those listening to the podcast, I'm just pulling out liquor.
Yeah.
This, and, you know, a shot of moonshine to wash it all down so they can forget that terrible season last year.
It's so funny looking at your screen right now. You just look like you're camouflaged behind like stocks of whiskey bottles and vodka bottles. It's really quite funny.
No, we love a good visual gag on Tailgate on the Quad.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, so there you have it. Our ACC as drinks. We will be doing the rest, which is a selection of Group of 5 schools, independents, and the what's left of the Pac-2, soon to be the fully restored Pac-12. In a couple weeks, Kieran has to take a work trip, so we're going to hold off on that for the next 2 weeks. I'm probably going to record an episode with someone else. Not sure who yet, but I do not want to take away Kieran's opportunity to do the rest, because I have fun doing it with him. So yeah, I think you have fun doing it.
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, Kieran, anything else you want to get to before we skedaddle?
No, I think we got everything.
All right. Perfect. Well, everyone have a good, safe, fun weekend. Once again, I'm not going to recommend doing the binge drinking challenge for this because of Florida State right in front of me. Also, all the drugs we mentioned and the bleach and the Drano.
Yeah. Please do not consume those products.
Do not do that. Public service announcement. Don't. But while you're here, I have to click on my keyboard to move stuff, which is fun.
Clicking things out of the way.
Yeah. Follow at Quad Tailgate on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, follow at Belly Up Sports on those platforms as well. Obviously, if you're watching YouTube, you're watching on Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. But why not? Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know you like it if you're watching on or listening to the podcast. Also, check us out on YouTube, Belly Up Sports, for some great visual gags like me surrounded by copious amounts of liquor. And this isn't even half of what I have in the bar next to me.
He's a legend.
Yeah, if I was a legend, this would all be gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Say you can tell you're not an alcoholic. If you don't run out of alcohol, you're not. That's terrible advice.
That is terrible advice. I was going to say it's great
listen to me.
advice, but that I was thinking
that is bad.
Oh no,
That is not good. I don't know how my audio sounds for this whole last bit because there's a bottle of Bacardi just in the way of my mic.
No, it's actually fine, or at least on my end.
Cool.
It's fine.
Perfect. Well, everyone have a good, safe, fun weekend. Rest of your week. I'm gonna go put all this away, I guess, since it's a Wednesday and I can't drink a lot. Bye. They're eating the dogs, Kieran, in Tuscaloosa.
They're eating the dogs.
You know that?
They were eating
the dogs.
Oh, a meth raccoon.
Yeah.
Just awful. There is nothing good about this. It's the worst possible scenario for the CFP, for the national championship.
Notre Dame is a mid-program with really good marketing.
And the Michigan players are going to look at that, and anybody who's committing to Michigan in the next years and just go, I want to beat them even more. Like, I wanted to beat them when I first came to the school. Recruits are going to see this.
And we're also sorry that you have to watch a Brian Kelly coach football team. We can only imagine how difficult that must be for you, knowing that you're not going to win a big game ever with him as your coach and that you're rooting for a child murderer.
This podcast has gone off to a really weird start, but I like it.
I love it, though. I'm a big fan.